The time's now 5:07 a.m. I mean, Caitlin, when I was leaving home, thankfully, the rain wasn't coming down that hard. But as I started getting closer to downtown Macon, I mean, it was pouring. Everybody was driving slow. Windshield wipers were like on hyper speed, and it was pouring.
I believe it, because when I got to Macon from House County, everything was dry, and then all of a sudden the roads were soaked and there was puddles. So be careful out there on the roads this morning.
Definitely.
I'm sure there's still going to be water out there.
I was telling Alex when we were getting ready this morning, thankfully my suit was able to dry in time because I was soaked.
Yeah, and luckily I made it in the door like 5 minutes before the sky opened up here at the station. But yeah, we had 2 rounds in Macon as we went through the overnight hours. The first was right around midnight. The second was right around 2 a.m. And you can see we officially didn't record any precip yesterday. I'll be interesting to see if the airport picked up any today. We'll have to get that information later on this afternoon. 88 is what we did yesterday. Here's a live look across downtown. Temperatures in the 70s waking up across central Georgia this morning. Take a look at satellite and radar. Still looking at a few showers out there. The stuff that's over towards Wrightsville, Swainsboro, that's the storm that rolled through Macon a few hours ago. Still looking at some more showers, southern Hancock County, northern Washington County. And then out closer to Alabama, a storm rolling out of Columbus. That's probably going to make it here into Taylor and Macon counties in the next little bit. But 60s and 70s out the door this morning. Across the southeast, much of the same, an unsettled pattern, but you can kind of see a boundary set up right through here where the rain stops. That's a cold front that's coming closer to central Georgia. Not going to do a whole lot to our temperatures, but it is going to do a number to our humidity, which you'll see here in just a second. So here's a look across the southeast. Again, a few showers up into northern Georgia, a few more into Chattanooga. Pretty good line of storms there just south of Montgomery. That's probably going to slide down closer to Albany. Not too much of a concern for us, but like we were just talking about with that one storm outside of Columbus, that could clip Taylor, Macon counties here over the next little bit. So let's check it all out on Future View now. As we head through the afternoon hours, here's 11 a.m. A few scattered showers across the region. I think we might be overdoing it just a little bit on the shower activity that you see here on Future View as we head through the afternoon hours. Certainly have the possibility to see them, but I don't think they're going to be this widespread. As the front comes on through, that's going to bring some drier air. That'll clear central Georgia as we head through the overnight hours. This is 11 p.m. through Macon and Warner Robins at this point. And again, not doing a whole lot to our temperatures, but it's the humidity. So when you step out the door Friday morning, it's not going to smack you in the face like it's going to do this morning here in the Peach State. And then as we head through Friday afternoon, notice this is the noon hour, a wind out of the northeast, much drier across the area, still keeping about a 10% chance of rain in for Friday. But then we've got to watch the summertime pattern to see if we get any of these upper level systems rolling through Friday night. The indications are we could see one with maybe a few storms overnight Friday into Saturday. That's not necessarily tied to the lower humidity. That's just a pulse of energy coming through in the mid levels. So on into the weekend we go. Summertime pattern. It is June after all here in central Georgia, so that's what we'll be watching as we head through the weekend and into next week. Once we get to Monday, our winds shift a little bit, start coming from the Gulf of Mexico, the Atlantic Ocean. The humidity will make a return, and the heat is certainly going to make its presence known in central Georgia. So here we go over the next 5 days. You can see we are pretty close to average. Average is right around 90, so close to average through Saturday. Sunday, we find ourselves a little bit above average, and then that trend is going to continue into next week, up to 96 for Monday, and we are not stopping there. Now let's take a look at the dew points. Again, dew point is the measure of moisture in the atmosphere. By the time we get to Friday afternoon, a dew point of 52, that's relatively drier than what we have been seeing. We've been in the upper 60s, 70s, somewhere in there. That's really moist air, so 50s will be welcome here across central Georgia. Today, headed for a high temperature of about 89 degrees as the front arrives with maybe a few scattered storms. Sunrise is at 6:26. Then for tonight, 64 with the wind shifting and the air becoming drier. The next 3 days through the weekend, mid-90s by the time we get to Sunday, and then on into next week. Upper 90s. I've got 98 for Tuesday and Wednesday, a 20% chance of rain both days. We're going to find ourselves back into the afternoon summertime shower and storm pattern by the time we get there.